Greetings, Minecrafters, and welcome to another Minecraft discussion on this glorious day. I'm right here on the first bridge. There's two. The second one's Inspiration Bridge, but I could probably really call them. Plus, they look very similar. Actually, no, they don't. This one has a railing. Anyway, so my name is Kimberly Quinn, and I'm here to chat with you today about releasing the pattern. Just let go of the pattern. You're like, oh, what is she talking about? What is she saying? I'm going to tell you what I'm saying here is because oftentimes we know that we teach people how to treat us, right? We absolutely, without question, teach people how to treat us. And we teach people with our behavior, not with our words. If we say, oh, stop walking on me, you know what that invites? More walking on you. Because it's weak, and people just don't like weakness. I mean, it's just the plain and simple truth. People respond to strength, and strength comes from behavior more than words in this particular context of what we're talking about. Because words are powerful too. I don't want to even, go there. Because in this context, it's when we're talking about teaching people how to treat us, we really, really, really need to do what we talk about as being quietly effective. So I've done that already. We'll kind of weave it in. But what I want to talk about is actually doing an affirmation. We figure out, how is it that I attracted, all this snark today? That looks like Giovanni sees something. How is it that I attracted all this snark today? And maybe think about, releasing the pattern that whatever it is that we're doing. And we can be open to that because we might not even know. All we know is that people continue to treat us in a very similar fashion. Maybe they're walking on you. Maybe they're being manipulating. And we tend to jump straight to blame. Blaming. And I'm not saying that's like legit bad what they said or did. Of course it is. If they're, being unkind, saying unkind things, doing unkind things. It's just important, really, to also look within and what am I putting out there unconsciously to attract people, being snarky or petty or just mistreating you in whatever way. And to own it, even if we don't really have a grip on what it is, because it's the subconscious. The vault can be very difficult. So we just have to, because obviously it's unconscious, we have to just kind of put it out there and say, I am willing to release this pattern of whatever I'm doing to attract not being treated well in whatever way. And I'm willing to let it go. I'm willing to let it go because just like we've talked about seeds of affirmation in a positive sense, we talked about that in the other video. We also can have seeds that were planted in us early on as a child that sort of led to us developing this belief system. Again, that's in the vaults. We're not consciously aware of it. So seeds get planted all the time. You beautiful little babies born into this world and just bundles of love, and then obviously stuff happens, and these seeds can then cause us to form agreements because children are obviously dependent on their caregivers, and they're innocent and they're trusting, and they grow to believe that whatever the people in their lives are saying is true, which is great if it's positive. Not so great if it's, well, you're never going to amount to anything, you're not good at this, you're sorry honey, you're just not that smart or whatever. And we form agreements, which I got to give credit to Don Miguel Ruiz, who wrote the 4 Agreements. I didn't actually plan that for today, but it's true. He talks about how early on we kind of just naturally, because we're children, form these agreements. So it's really important to realize that these are kind of like the rotten seeds or the bad seeds, like the rotten seeds that aren't going to grow and they're just going to mold and smell, and to really acknowledge that there's some in there, and that those seeds, those agreements that we're not good enough or we're not this enough or that enough, intelligent enough, whatever enough, that's social enough, whatever enough to be able to be in a healthy relationship, and those unconscious rotten seeds are what's attracting the behavior to us. So it's really important to make affirmations of releasing. Okay, we don't say, I don't want this, I want this to stop. That just attracts more of it. When we willingly just say, okay, you know what? I'm really done with the whatever treatment, and I'm releasing it. There it goes. I no longer want it. And then envision the rotten seeds being, like, throw them up. What I sometimes envision is a splinter, because it's kind of like, if you have a splinter in your foot, you're aware of it, right? You're aware of it, but you don't really know the depth of it, which is what we're talking about, the unconscious. And you can keep going on with your life when you have a splinter. You can still walk and go to, it also depends where it is, right? You can walk around, talk, go to work. You can even forget about it while you're having a really good lunch. But it's sort of this low-grade sting or throb, and that's kind of what I'm talking about. So we can envision the splinter extracting itself and then healing, and then healing. So we want to focus on releasing the pattern and say these words, preferably in front of a mirror if you can do that. It's the best. Mirror work is great. Lots of people talk about it. Lots of people. Abraham Hicks talks about it. Louise Hay talks about it. Lots of people talk about it. So I'm willing to release these patterns. They're no longer working for me. I'm willing to release these patterns. And that's it. Picture the splinter being extracted and that wound healing up. And that's it. Because we do teach people how to treat us. And that's it. Kimberly Quinn signing off, the little Giovanni. Have a mindful, mindful day.